Welcome to Flash Editorials for January the 28th, 2012. I am Anita Stiffy.
And I am Haywood Jablomi. Flash Editorials is presented by www.dumpdc.com, Russell D. Longcore, owner and editor. Everywhere I go, people stop me and comment how much I look like the black version of Russell Longcore. I have even signed a few autographs for Mr. Longcore. Sorry, Russ, I got carried away with your fame. Now to the news.
The Nation Part 1, Mitt Romney and Newt Gingrich are trying to politically assassinate each other in every primary fight in every state. No matter which guy shakes out as the Republican candidate, and I shudder at that thought, the president has merely to play back their vitriolic ads to make his case. The Republicans are making the shit sandwiches that they will have to eat after the convention. The only candidate that could survive the Obama onslaught and win is Ron Paul. My prediction? Rick Santorum is gone after the Florida primary.
The Nation Part 2, Barack Obama delivered the State of the Union address this week. Big deal. Reminded me of Kremlin speeches of the past. The socialist-in-chief made a speech in front of the rest of the socialists in the building, half of whom want a new socialist-in-chief. All of them want to grow the federal government, and none of them will support, protect and defend the old, tired Constitution. If you are reading this editorial, and you participate in the election this November, you are part of the problem. Stop voting. The Nation Part 3, Las Vegas billionaire Sheldon Adelson openly owns Newt Gingrich. Adelson has wanted war between America and Iran for years, and the money he has spent on Gingrich's behalf has bought Newt's allegiance. The old Newtster vows to protect Israel and to move the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem on his first day as president. It's disturbing to know that a man who would like to be president of the US is completely willing to sacrifice American lives to do Israel's bidding.
In international news, Egypt overthrew Hosni Mubarak 1 year ago this week. Nothing has really changed in the last 12 months. The military still runs the government and the Egyptian economy. But 80 million people eat a lot, and Egypt's main industry, tourism, evaporated after the Arab Spring. How are 80 million people going to keep eating regularly? Answer: they are not. Watch for more Egyptian misery and more open revolt.
International News Part 2, Washington keeps shooting itself in the foot. The West, led by Washington, has been ratcheting up its plan for economic sanctions against Iran. But Iran has powerful friends. This week, Iran huddled with India to plan a gold-for-oil deal. Last weekend Russ Longcore wrote about this, recommending that Iran tell everybody that Iranian oil is now only for sale for gold. Iran has just issued a warning that it may halt sales of crude to Europe altogether next week to demonstrate the consequences of siding with Washington. Meanwhile, we learned that China has leased 3 more supertankers to move Iranian oil to China. The American sanctions will be an embarrassing failure and will help convince the nations of the world how irrelevant America is becoming. The DC lion roars weakly from a toothless mouth.
International News Part 3. The Iranian gold-for-oil deal with India is just the beginning of the worldwide repudiation of the US dollar as the world reserve currency. Once the world decides that the dollar no longer deserves reserve status, the fall of the dollar could be precipitous. Few public school graduates, that means like falling off a cliff. And when fiat currency is not backed by a commodity, but only backed by the state's ability to steal from the people, and that currency is no longer necessary for buying oil, that currency will become worthless seemingly overnight. Are you ready for the inevitable collapse of the dollar?
In business news, a tiny percent of the 1% are meeting in Davos, Switzerland this week at the World Economic Forum to discuss how they are going to run the world. About 2,600 delegates will be in attendance, from German Chancellor Angela Merkel to Warren Buffett to over 70 other billionaires who consider themselves the elite. I can nearly guarantee that returning to gold-backed money for sovereign states will not be on the discussion group schedule. And despite the Davos airport being choked with Gulfstream and Citation private jets, These Keynesian business and government morons will surely talk about global warming issues and everybody's carbon footprint. I'd like to leave my footprint on all their asses. Now for our shameless plug. There are very few glowing and growing segments of the American economy. Energy is one of them. When I talk about energy, I am talking about natural gas and electricity. As the population grows, the demand for energy grows. Energy is the last major monopoly to be deregulated, and deregulation is sweeping across America. And when deregulation occurs, there is a massive transfer of wealth from the monopolies to the new competitors. The energy business is the nearest thing you will find to a recession-proof business. Think about it. Energy is a life-essential service that everyone already has in their monthly budgets. You do not have to create demand, demand is already in place. Just imagine if you had an energy business in which you got paid a little profit every month when your customers paid their energy bill, just like the big guys get paid. Find out more about this business at www.masterpieceenergy.com.
In economic news, the condition of the American economy is the best reason to start a business of your own. New unemployment claims totaled 377,000 last week. This economy is still in a deep recession. Reasonable people don't talk about the economy recovering when nearly 400,000 people a week lose their jobs.
Let's look at sports. I've been 100% wrong in my Super Bowl playoff picks. Patriots and Giants. Perhaps Eli Manning will turn out to be the greatest of the Manning brothers at the quarterback position. But Peyton will always be the funniest. His hosting of Saturday Night Live is a high watermark in SNL comedy.
In entertainment news, the Grammy Awards happen on February 12th. Of all the awards shows, I like this one best. The music is great, and musicians can be counted on to wear nearly anything, or nearly nothing. Remember Pink's performance on a swing 2 years ago wearing nothing but ribbons covering her dainty areas? A lot of guys still watch that on YouTube. Also, the Screen Actors Guild voted 87% to 13% to merge their union with the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. Haywood and I are non-union talent, working here in Georgia, a right-to-work state. That cheap bastard Russ Longcore would never sign a union contract. He is always keeping us down, probably because we are black.
Ahem. Well, Anita, that was interesting. Nothing like the rantings of an angry black woman to wrap up the broadcast. Me. I love working for Russ Longcore. Great guy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I always say. That's all for tonight. Thanks for watching. Speaking for Anita Stiffy, I am Haywood Jablomi. Good night and good luck. Dump DC, 6 letters that can change history. Copyright 2011, Russell D. Longcore. Permission to reprint in whole or in part is gladly granted, provided full credit is given.